Log, and you need that DeLorean car. I think as I was back in time to 10 a.m. 29th of July 1936, so we're about 4 years before the Second World War, and we're standing here and we might be not thinking that anything's going to happen here at all, but it did, because a loco suddenly came perfectly down the slope, derailed under this bridge, made a huge heap of stuff, and nobody got killed, and this was good. The reason nobody got killed is because there was nobody on the loco, which is a bit strange. But this whole thing started about 7 miles down the line in that direction, because there were people shunting sidings to colliery, and they took 8 coal wagons out onto the middle of the main line, stood them on the main line while they were rearranging things. And they had a little tank engine shuffling up and down as tank engines do. And you get a little tank engine shuffling up and down on the line, as they do, and just rearranging things. And the tank engine was thinking of sort of buffering up to the 8 coal wagons and giving them a bit of a shove. But what the tank engine crew didn't know was that the signalman had slightly messed up, and an approaching train had slightly messed up as well, and was approaching them at a ready old lick, and it ran through a red light, which meant that it was about to hit the tank engine and the 8 coal wagons. So somebody on the ground said to the tank engine crew, there's a problem out here. And the tank engine crew looked out, and they looked out from their little 40-ton tank engine and saw a loco weighing about 128 tons plus a large coal train bearing down on them. And they thought, as you do,
oh dear,
what can we possibly do? And the coal train at this point looked ahead on the line and saw the tank engine, and they panicked as well. So the people on the approaching coal train thought, well, we'll do something about this. So they didn't shut the steam off. What they did was leap off the footplate, thinking there was going to be a collision. Their train was already slowing. Apparently it passed the signal box at the speed of a running man, which is far too fast if it's about to hit something. The people on the little tank engine looked out and thought, right, we'll sort this out. They were pretty close to the wagons. They put their train up against the wagons, opened the regulator so it started pushing the wagons along the track ahead of the approaching train. And then, unfortunately, at that point, the engine driver of the little tank engine jumped off. Quite sensibly, I mean, that's what you do. You have 140 tons worth of train bearing down on it. The trouble is, his fireman looked round, noticed what he'd done, and didn't realise why he jumped off. The reason the engine driver had jumped off was he was going to scarper up to the other train, run alongside it, jump aboard, and stop it, which is what he did. His fireman, looking at him jumping off, thought, he's jumped off because I'm about to die, I'll jump off too, and jumped off. So now we have a little tank engine, regulator fully open, going in the direction of Bath, with 8 wagons on the front, and the 8 wagons are thinking, well, this is fun, but it doesn't usually happen like this. And they set off and they ran through Wellow. And they went through Wellow at about 50 miles an hour, about a minute after the signalman there received a phone call saying, we've got a train running away, make necessary preparations. So the signalman had just about time to pick up the detonators, and away went the train past it. Now, the line, as we know, between Braesdown and Wellow and Midford is a sort of bit of a switchback. It's undulating, but as you get to Midford, it goes into a sort of 1 in 64, which is very nice if you're on a bicycle these days and suddenly you're only sailing along. Didn't realise it's that good, you could hear it from up there. These 8 wagons, this little train engine loco thing, pushing them, went onto the 1 in 60, hurtled down until Midford Station. Lots of track work there, and the 7 wagons derailed in front of it, which wasn't very good, because the first wagon went through the signal box. Now, the Wellow signalman was on the phone to Bath at that point, and he suddenly heard all the lines go dead. And the reason was that this wagon had taken out the bottom of the signal box. The guys in the signal box were very pleased that it took out just the underneath of it, because they were standing above it when it happened. So all that was them is they dropped about 2 feet and sort of came to a halt again. The wagons rained down upon Midford. There's a house there, I think it's called Linwood, and it basically had a wagon fallen it out of the sky, but it missed it by about, it landed alongside the house. The person in the house was very glad about that. So we've now got the situation where this loco runs across some extremely bad track work in Midford Station now, because a whole lot of gone snaky, because these 8 wagons are derailed all over it. It's pushing the last wagon, but it's only pushing it on 2 wheels, and it pushes it all the way uphill through Combe Down Tunnel, got to the top of the slope here, and you know from its behaviour at Midford on downhill slopes, it's not at all good. So it came hurtling down this 1 in 50 for 2 miles, got as far as this bridge, and finally, probably the wagon may have fouled the bridge or something because it was all out of gauge. Tripped the loco up, the whole thing finally came to a halt here, and that was the end of that story, with the added twist, of course, that the people down at Bath Station, Green Park, had it's a dead end there, so they had practice at knowing what to do with runaways down this line. They divert them all into the goods yard, and they also tell everybody in the goods yard to scarper quickly, luckily. So they'd done that, so presumably there was half-hour of quaking fear at Green Park as well, where Sainsbury's is now, as they await this approaching runaway. And the very last twist of this tale was that there was also some shunting going on this piece of line here out of one of the sidings that morning. But the people there very luckily put the engine in the siding, so they didn't get involved as well. I don't know if they were standing there when this wreck shot past them and
the siding was just up here on the left, wasn't it?
Yeah, could have been that one, could have been the brick.
There was a brickworks down here as well.
Yeah. So that's the end of the great derailment that certainly turned into a derailment, but it was complete farce because for once nobody got killed. Thank you very much.
The first time I heard that story, it was 30 seconds. then it was a minute, then it was 2 minutes, and it's turned into 7 minutes now. So the last group we'll do, it'll probably be half an hour. Well done, Mark.
About the trade accident report.